Welcome to Small World. I'm your host, Sami Huggins, and today I'm joined by Cameron Neuhauser to talk about the cultural differences and similarities between the United States and Germany. Cameron, thank you for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me.
So, you traveled to Germany.
Yes.
How did you travel to Germany, and was it through a specific program?
Yes, I traveled through a faculty-led study abroad program. It was kind of different because it went through our sales team that we have here in Whitewater, so we had to get picked to go. And so they picked 5 students based on how good you did in some past sales competitions on campus. And you had to kind of apply, but it was mainly they chose us, and then I applied for the program, and then we just, went.
So how long were you there for?
We were there for 10 days, account like 1 day for traveling, but we packed a lot into those 10 days.
Like, what did you all do during those 10 days?
So in the beginning we visited the University of Gießen, which is about an hour north of Frankfurt, train ride. And so we participated in lectures, we learned about how their school system works, so that was really interesting. And then we were partnered up with two German students to do a sales role play. And so a month prior to actually leaving for the trip, we were doing webcam conversations with them, so preparing for it. And we do it all as a big group, so our professors would be there, and we'd all kind of just be, it'd be a different topic every week, so there was preparation leading up to it as well.
Did you get to meet like any of the students at the universities that you got to go to?
Yeah, so we partnered with 2 students from the university.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so 2 German students that they also had to apply to do the program as well. So it was kind of cool to meet them, and we got to meet a bunch of other students as well. So it was fun.
Were they excited to meet you guys?
Yeah, they were. They didn't know, like they thought that we were so good at what we do, and they're like, oh, they're going to be much better than us, and they're already in their master's program actually, because their undergrad it's free to do an undergrad there, and their master's is like they're paying for it, but like a lot of people do their master's, so we were actually paired with students that were 24, 25, 26, and they thought that we were much more experienced, and I was like, ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, the stereotype of Americans.
Yeah, they think we're like just talkers. And
have you traveled out of the country prior to your trip to Germany?
I went to Canada, but I went fishing.
That's still out of the country.
Yeah, I definitely didn't get any cultural experiences there, but I went to a resort, so.
I can understand. My mom and I went to Canada too, and she did not plan ahead because she expected us to use our GPS and then forgot about international data. So we got there and she's like, so I don't know where to go.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. And so we kind of just rode along, and we found Applebee's. So we ate at Applebee's and took pictures by the river between Detroit and Canada.
Yeah.
And we went to the Harley-Davidson shop. But essentially, other than that, like, we didn't even know the speeding limit because it's in kilometers. And her 2012 Impala wasn't like converting. No. And mom's like, what's 40 kilometers in miles? I was like, I don't know. I can't use my phone to figure it out.
That's when you follow the traffic.
We just actually went 40 miles. Like, we're like, you know what? It's probably higher. So
yeah, we'll just guess.
Yeah, we'll just go. So what expectations did you have before like traveling to Germany, and were those expectations met?
I guess I don't know. I had more expectations about what we'd be doing there with like the students, not about the country as a whole. Because I mean, I've never been there, but I think Wisconsin has a very similar kind of. We have so much descendants from Germany, but kind of I didn't know what to expect with the students, so that was kind of nerve-wracking. So I didn't know how this was going to go, what their language was like, how well they were how good they were in English. So I was I was a little nervous about that, but they were very fluent. Some words they didn't know, but those are like slang words. So yeah.
Well, that's interesting considering the fact that German students who are in their master's program think that we Americans have more experience. Well, it's time to take a short break, but don't go anywhere because we'll hear more about Cameron's experience in Germany when we return. What does it mean to be a Warhawk?
It means allowing myself to dream big and think outside the box.
Pushing the limits of what I think is possible.
Seeing ideas through from start to finish.
Collaborating with professors and peers.
And seizing opportunities in the community to put my knowledge to use.
I'm studying abroad,
learning another language,
and listening to the stories of others.
I'm making lifelong friends and fearlessly sharing my gifts with the world.
As a Warhawk, I stay balanced,
take great care of myself,
and get out of my comfort zone. I refuse to let the past determine my future.
And I'm taking confident steps in the direction of my dreams.
Sometimes it doesn't make sense.
And other times it couldn't be more exciting.
But I will keep my goals in mind
and never quit.
Because
that's the Warhawk Way.
The Department of Communication offers students the opportunity to explore the world through the faculty-led travel study program. The course consists of both in-class lecture and a 3-week travel component at the end of the semester.
You have a life that is insanely busy. You don't have to give up so much time to do a 3-week travel study, and you can compact a lot in 3 weeks.
The course is worth 3 credits and is open to all majors. The program features group travel with peers and faculty.
I think the benefit of traveling in a group like the travel study is there's always somebody there to experience new things with you, and you always have new friends to gain.
Travel Study offers a variety of travel destinations, including a trip to Ireland every other year. Develop new relationships, participate in enriching cultures, and experience personal growth while abroad.
With the Travel Study, it was so great being able to go to places and really experience the value that they can give to our own culture and just to me as a person.
For more information, please visit
Impact is an LGBT organization here on campus. It allows individuals with any identity to come together in a safe space to provide education and awareness of LGBT issues for the community. Some campus events that Impact hosts are the Second Chance Dance, Coming Out Day, and the Drag Show. For more information, stop by the Pride Center located in the Warhawk Connection Center in the UC, or visit our Facebook or Instagram pages for more information or our meeting times.
At the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, we're passionate about learning. Our talented faculty members blend teaching with research, creating hands-on learning experiences for students. Warhawk Pride thrives at UW-Whitewater, where student-athletes excel on the field and in the classroom, where diversity is celebrated. A tradition of excellence 140 years in the making. Find your passion here.
Welcome back to Small World. We're still here with Cameron Neuhauser as he shares more about his time in Germany. So how is the German culture different from the culture of the U.S.?
That's a good question. Because Wisconsin and Germany are kind of similar in a way. People like to say that, but what I found is more the German culture is, especially when addressing superiors like your professors. One of my partners that I partnered with from the university was like, "Oh, you have such a good relationship with your professors. Like you talk to them on a first name basis, and you're like talking to them about casual things, like just like what's going on." And they just don't do that. They don't have that kind of relationship, and their professor's name at Gießen, his name was Alex, and we kept calling him Alex and stuff. But then he corrected one of our American students and said, "Oh, please call me Professor Haas," because so that's something that's really different because there's a lot of professors on campus that like to be informal, like they would rather be like, "Just call me John" or something. But they're pretty strict about, not mean, but like they just respect you just saying that.
I know, because there's still some professors, I've had like where they're like, we prefer you to call her doctor other than, because like they have their doctor and everything. But I get that, because like a lot of our professors are like, they kind of like, I guess in their way of reaching out to you and wanting you to feel comfortable with them, they're just like, call me by my first name or just my last name. Like you don't have to say professor this or doctor that if they have a doctorate. So I get that.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting nuance.
So do you speak any German, and did you feel that your language skills affected your experience abroad?
I don't speak any German. My family's really German. My great-grandma could speak it, but I knew like a couple words, like how to count to 3 and like maybe please and thank you and like where's this, but I think that a lot of people said that in Germany a lot of people speak English and it was really easy, but we weren't in like Frankfurt for the whole time, or like Munich. We were in like a small suburban town, almost like a college town. So it was a really young population that could speak German. But I think that when you go up to a store, like order, like we got like ice cream one time, none of them could speak English. So you kind of just point then. And then when I went to a department store, it was called not TJ Maxx, they call it TK Maxx. Don't know why. But I went up there and they like thought I could speak like German. He said something like, "You want a bag?" But he said in German. I was like, I looked back at my friend and like he was behind me because he can kind of understand it. And he's like, what? And then he's like, do you want a bag? The guy at the counter, and I was like, oh yeah, I want a bag. And I'm like, so he's like, he thought I was so like scared that he was speaking it to me, and I'm like, I felt really awkward, so.
Yeah, because like, especially like, obviously with the descendants and everything, you know, our biggest is German, and so like, in middle school, we had to take 1 year of Spanish, 1 year of German before we went to high school to figure out which language that we wanted to take. So I ended up taking Spanish, but like when I did do German, I'm like, I feel like all they're doing is kind of like adding a ugh, and then kind of shouting it. Like, that's what it feels like the German language is all about, because like, you know, they got spiking me Deutsch, and I'm like, okay. Yeah, they asked us a couple of times, do you think our language is really harsh? And I'm like, I mean, kind of, but like, what are you gonna, it's a language, like, I mean, everyone has. I feel like Russian's a little more harsh.
Yeah, true,
So.
I think that too.
Since your time in Germany was so brief, would you like to spend more time there given the opportunity? If so, what aspect of German culture would you like to experience more of?
Oh, that's a good, I would definitely like to go back, because it was, I mean, I thought my time there was enough, because we did a lot of school stuff in the beginning, but then we did sightseeing after. But I would like to see much more. I kind of want to go to Munich, and because that's the really cultural part of Germany, the really like kind of traditional things, whereas like Frankfurt was like the financial, like the Manhattan, they called it, of Germany. So it wasn't, I didn't get as much culture there, so I would love to travel to the southern part, which is Munich, and do some more sightseeing, maybe go with my family, because they would love to go there too, because we're German, so.
Well, thank you for coming on the show today and sharing your experience of traveling in a foreign country. That's our show for today. Thank you for watching and listening to Global Stories Like Cameron's. Special thanks to all our guests who have come on the show and shared their experiences from around the world. We at Small World have enjoyed every moment, and we hope you have too. With these closing remarks, we encourage you to remember that even though the planet may seem huge, it's a small world. Safe travels, everyone.